Ongi etorri, Basque/Navarran, for welcome. For those of you who enjoy traditional regional fare, plus a bit of scenery, I've come to Ujué, one of the prettiest villages in Spain. No, that's not my opinion, it's official, as the sign informs us. Forgive me for sounding blasé, but with medieval villages around every corner in these parts, I'd be forgiven for thinking más de lo mismo, more of the same, just another one, unless your medieval village happens to produce the finest migas in Spain. People come from far and wide for the migas of Las Torres, and to enjoy the views of the Pyrenees to the north. Migas, meaning crumbs, not those falling from the rich man's table, but a preparation held in highest esteem all over Spain. Migas del Pastor, shepherd's crumbs. In the old days, this was a breakfast dish that made use of leftover stale bread, but it's now been elevated to somewhat of a delicacy, served as a first course for lunch or dinner. The waiter is proud to explain how in pre-COVID times everyone would eat from the same pan with a wooden spoon, compressing the migas on the edge of the pan before raising to the mouth. Migas then are toasted breadcrumbs, tiny bits of ham, etc., all fried in flavourful fat, yet moist rather than crunchy, as we'll see in a moment. The migas of La Torre restaurant are superb, yet very much their own take on the dish, as they use tomatoes and mushrooms, not traditional. I, however, am putting my faith in these local ladies who are very clear as to how migas are made traditionally, at home, in this part of Navarra.
Navarra, y muy típico de Olite también.
They inform me that migas are best made over a strong, open fire. Righto, that should do it. So with Ujué at a safe distance in the background, manos a la obra, down to work. The bread for migas must be at least a couple of days old, pretty much hard. Otherwise it won't cut properly into crumbs. This is labour intensive. To think I could have bought all this ready cut in a packet. They are then re-moistened with salty water. Mixed well and left to rest for a little while covered with a cloth. For the other ingredients, lamb suet, to be fried in pork lard along with bacon, cured pork belly or cured ham. I'm using pork belly, but any of these are used around here. Some local chistorra sausage, which is a thin chorizo, encased in lamb's intestine rather than pig's, as is chorizo. But a regular cooking chorizo is just fine. Oh, and surprise, surprise, plenty of garlic. Migas are often served with a fried egg, and that's it. I don't really have a clue about weights and amounts for such a rustic, old-fashioned thing, but I'd guess something like this. All the solids are cut into small dice. Firstly, the small pieces of lamb suet are melted in the lard. Now the pork belly and the chorizo are added. And when starting to turn golden, we add the finely chopped garlic to cook just a minute longer. The bread is tossed around constantly for several minutes until golden, yet still moist. We're not making croutons, yet something quite soft. If need be, sprinkle over more water as they cook. Check for salt and carry back to a suitable vantage point overlooking Ujué and reheat. Now, I don't expect you to all run off and prepare Navarran migas for dinner tonight, but as a gastro-pilgrim reporting on the way food really is in the provinces, I'd be amiss to exclude migas from the Pete's Pan's catalogue of the classics. So do hit subscribe, the bell and all that to join me again next week for another Navarran speciality. Un saludo desde Ujué, Navarra.